The premise for the recent protest is that it is open season on African Americans by police. But do the facts back that up? Senior political analyst Hume is in Washington tonight. Good evening, Brett.
Hi there, Brett. In Dallas Tuesday, President Obama will be trying to calm racial tensions that his own behavior has done much to aggravate. From his denunciation of the Cambridge, Massachusetts police as acting, quote, stupidly in the arrest of black Harvard law professor Henry Louis Gates, they didn't, to his assertion that the motives of the Dallas cop killer are unclear, they aren't. The president has consistently chosen to see things through the eyes of an aggrieved black activist rather than of a president of all the people. He has not failed to speak out whenever a black is killed by a white police officer, but has said next to nothing about the continuing slaughter of blacks by other blacks in the streets of Chicago, Baltimore, and other cities. He has made his sympathy for the Black Lives Matter movement obvious, and never mind that the whole premise of that movement seems to be fallacious. No case has given the movement more impetus than the false claim that Michael Brown was shot down in cold blood while trying to surrender to a cop in Ferguson, Missouri 2 years ago. And now a study led by a black Harvard law professor has examined 15 years of crime data from 5 major cities and 2 Florida counties. The study found that while police were more often likely to get physical with black suspects than with white ones, when it came to police shootings, there was no racial bias. Did you hear that, Mr. President? No racial bias. Brett?
You know, Brett, last week I had Senator Tim Scott, African-American, Republican from South Carolina. He came on and said even though he's a lawmaker, he still feels sometimes a tension because he believes he's African-American, and that feeling seems to be pervasive, at least when you talk to African-Americans in different communities around the country.
Well, that was certainly one of the findings of that Harvard study, that it found that, you know, there's no racial bias involved in police shootings, that the general treatment of blacks by police officers is rougher and tougher and perhaps unfairly so than it is for whites. To understand that data fully, I suppose you'd have to know about the circumstances under which these various incidents occurred over time. I don't know how you'd ever do that, but to fully understand it, you might have to. And of course, the other question is, given the high rate of crime committed by blacks as opposed to other groups in this country, you'd have to be able to assess whether that has something to do with it. But it does seem to be agreements widely shared, and certainly one that the police departments in this country should be working on.
Britt, as always, thank you.